Hello from Covenant Life Fellowship. We're Ken Porter
That's me.
is the pastor. My name is Bev Porter, and welcome to Bev's Lifeline. So, our last Lifeline, we talked about safety in our home, and we asked the question, "Is your home safe?" And we spent a good amount of time just talking about the importance of providing a home for your family, a home for your husband, a home for your wife where they would enjoy coming back to. And one of the things that Ken mentioned in the Lifeline was that our home has not always felt that way. It was a house at times, on occasion, and not a home.
Absolutely. When I think of a house is a structure, it's brick, it's mortar, and it's a place where two people dwell. A home is something completely different. I think a home is something that you share together and that you actually make. You make a house a home because of the comfortability of the security, the safety, so many different things come under being a house. You've heard the term that home is where the heart is. Well, that's what a home is. Many years, I was in sales. Bev was busy with her career. We had children, and life was busy.
Yes.
So coming here to this place that we call home now didn't always feel like home. It just felt like a house. We were dwelling, we were taking care of the business at hand, taking care of the kids. The kids were giving us a degree of stress. Work was giving us a degree of stress. We didn't know how to manage it. And then, upon coming home for me, it was somewhat stressful because Bev would ask me this question that all women ask. So what is on your mind? What are you thinking about? And I simply say, nothing. And it was just unbelievable to her. She just tried to drag something out of me. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. And it became very difficult for me. So I was like, oh man, and I'm going to have to deal with this. I was sitting in a meeting with Bev and several other couples, and we were talking about this same thing years ago. And the question came up, and all of the guys said, what are you thinking about? Nothing. And
That's what they said.
that's what we said. And that's true. And it was only when we realized that our lives are completely different in how we think, and we began to understand how each other worked physically, mentally, spiritually, that we understood. And then our house made this transformation into becoming a home when we learned how to deal with that.
For me, I loved coming home. I really did. It was stressful though at times, and here's why. I would pick the kids up from school, and I felt this enormous pressure to have to run home and figure out something to cook that was somewhat healthy. Thank God for Hamburger Helper. But I felt this pressure to hurry up and get food on the table, and while I was cooking, I also was the primary person responsible for helping the kids with their homework. And while they were doing their homework and I'm cooking dinner, I'm also fixing their lunches, and it just was enormous. And then Ken would be in and out, and he would do everything that I would ask him to do. And that was some of the rub for me, is why would I have to ask? It felt to me like he should know. But anyway,
It's true.
It's true, and it was just stressful. And then finally, I would get the kids' homework done, get them settled for the next day. Then I'd be able to log on around 9 o'clock to my laptop to do work. And then finally I would get to bed and crash, and then I would have this nudge on my side followed by 2 words.
Hey, baby, you up?
Yeah.
So,
okay, 4 words.
Yeah, 4 words.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was just...
And it was difficult. And all of this takes managing. All of this takes understanding and taking the time to talk about what each other experience is, what our experiences are, what we need from each other, and to understand that Teddy Pendergrass did have it wrong.
Well,
It's not a 50-50. It's not a 70-30. It is 100% from me
yes.
and 100% from Bev, which basically helps us and helps you to make a house a home. Because other than that, it's a structure where two people spend time and you're not together. You're just
Going through the motions.
going through the motions.
But do you know what the pivotal point for me was? Where I wish I could say to all of our viewers that we figured it out early in our marriage and life was golden. That is not the case.
No.
I feel like we wasted precious moments just going through the motion, or moments of being in the house and you are my roommate.
Yeah.
I tell you, for me, when that change came, it was when I learned to care less about these things that seemingly were so important. It actually happened as a result of us losing loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
Losing my dad, losing my sister, my brother, and your mom and your dad. That was God's way of reminding us of how fragile life really is. And so through those experiences, and adversity advances the kingdom, we say, I learned to care less about whether things are in place in the house.
Right.
Whether your shoes were where I thought that they should be, and they never were, by the way.
Yeah.
But I cared less about it because it wasn't really that important. And I think when I let it go, let go some of those material things and getting the appearance of stuff just right, I think that's when it became a home.
Yeah, because we can't sweat the small stuff. And believe me, all stuff is small stuff. This life that we live is a vapor.
Yes.
You're here today, and we used to say gone today or tomorrow. You're gone today, within the next second. We never know.
We don't know.
So cherish each moment that you have together. And it's so sad when people make their transition and you have an opportunity to come up and say something to someone who can no longer hear you, no longer see you.
It's called the regret.
It's called regret. We live life without regrets. That's how our house became a home. You have to find out what is the true priority.
Yes.
And those who you love them.
Yes. So that's what we have for you now is ministry. So we need you to like it, and we need you to share it. And just know that we love you so much, and our desire is that these lifelines are transformative, that you will find them helpful as you work to make your marriage strong and to fortify your marriage so that it looks like the relationship that Christ has with the church. So until we see you again, bye for now.
Bye.